Welcome back to the channel Coins Dealer, where we dive deep into the astonishing world of rare coins and uncover the incredible story behind a seemingly ordinary 1991 1-cent penny from the United States that has left collectors and numismatists in utter disbelief due to its staggering estimated worth of over $36 million, a value that seems beyond comprehension when compared to its humble face value of just a single cent, and yet, this tiny copper-colored coin has become one of the most talked about, coveted, and examined numismatic treasures in history, not merely because of its age or material but due to a fascinating and highly complex combination of rare errors, mysterious minting mistakes, potential experimental production anomalies, and highly debated mint mark misplacements, which, when all factored together, form the perfect storm of rarity, uniqueness, and historical intrigue. A true unicorn in the vast sea of billions of pennies produced annually, and as we embark on this journey into the remarkable specifics of this coin, let's unravel what exactly went wrong, or perhaps, what exactly went right, in the highly controlled environment of the United States Mint, a place where precision is paramount and quality control is a daily obsession, and yet, in spite of all those rigorous checks and balances, something happened in 1991 that slipped through unnoticed. A small deviation from perfection that would go on to make numismatic history and send shockwaves through the collecting community, and as you watch this video you'll begin to appreciate just how one small mistake can ripple through time and space, transcending its original function as currency and transforming into a priceless artifact. So let's begin with the coin's most defining feature, its mint mark error, because unlike most pennies from that year, which were struck at either the Philadelphia or Denver Mint and clearly marked with a small P or D under the year on the obverse side, this particular coin appears to contain a highly unusual S mint mark, indicating San Francisco, but upon further inspection experts found inconsistencies in the shape and depth of the mint mark itself, suggesting it may have been added with a different die or even manually altered at the mint in what some believe was an accidental or possibly experimental die test. And this alone sparked heated debates and drew attention from seasoned numismatists, but what makes it even more compelling is the layering of multiple errors all within the same coin, as it also shows signs of double die obverse, where the lettering and Lincoln's profile appear subtly but unmistakably doubled, particularly visible on the Liberty inscription and the date 1991 itself, a rare and usually highly sought-after minting error that alone could increase a coin's value significantly, but in combination with the suspicious mint mark, raises serious questions about how this particular penny came to exist, and yet the mystery deepens further when we look at the metal composition, because while pennies in 1991 were supposed to be made from a core of 99.2% zinc with a thin outer layer of copper, this rare specimen appears to have an anomalous metal composition, suggesting it may have been struck on a leftover bronze planchet from pre-year 1982 stock. A practice that theoretically should not have occurred given the technological sophistication of the mint at the time, and yet, metallurgical analysis seems to support that this coin weighs slightly more than a typical 1991 penny and has a slightly different tone and ring when dropped on a hard surface, which are telltale signs of an off-metal strike, and considering that mint facilities sometimes test dies using old stock, it is conceivable, though still rare, that this could have happened, and then somehow, against all odds, made it out of the mint into general circulation, only to be discovered years later by a sharp-eyed collector. And when you combine all these factors, the unusual mint mark, the double die obverse, the possible bronze planchet, and the fact that it was actually circulated rather than destroyed or caught by quality control, it forms a chain of improbabilities so rare that experts have estimated the odds of this combination happening as 1 in several billion, which naturally drives up its perceived and real-world value among elite collectors. And once word got out that such a coin existed, the numismatic world lit up with speculation, analysis, and even a bit of controversy, as some questioned the legitimacy of the find while others rallied behind its authentication, submitting it to multiple third-party grading services who, after extensive testing and analysis under microscopes and advanced scanning tools, concluded that the coin was indeed genuine and unaltered post-mint, thus confirming its legitimacy and opening the floodgates of demand, with private collectors, auction houses, and even museums expressing keen interest, which eventually led to a high-profile private sale valued at over $36 million, making it one of the most expensive and highly prized coins in the history of U.S. currency, a testament to how a tiny deviation from minting norms can elevate an object from common change to priceless treasure. And this serves not only as a compelling case study in the importance of details but also as a reminder to all of us to check our pocket change more carefully, because while most of us would dismiss a 1991 penny as essentially worthless, the reality is that certain specific errors can unlock unimaginable value, and in the case of this particular coin, we are dealing with a piece of American history that accidentally became a masterpiece, a convergence of human error, machine misalignment, and perhaps a dash of fate, resulting in a once-in-a-lifetime anomaly that stands as both a marvel of numismatics and a captivating mystery for future generations of coin lovers to study and admire. And what's even more fascinating is that experts believe there could potentially be more such coins out there, lost among the billions, just waiting to be discovered, hiding in plain sight in someone's drawer, a penny jar, or in the change handed out at a grocery store. And it's this tantalizing possibility that keeps collectors constantly on the lookout, carefully examining every coin that passes through their hands in the hopes of finding the next great anomaly. And with growing awareness and access to digital databases, magnification tools, and collector forums, the hunt for error coins like this has never been more thrilling or more accessible to the average person, making this story not just one of monetary gain but of historical importance and widespread public intrigue. And as we wrap up this incredible tale, it's worth remembering that every coin has a story, but only a few tell stories as rich, complex, and ultimately valuable as the 1991 1-cent penny that defied all odds to become a multi-million-dollar marvel, proving once and for all that sometimes the smallest things can hold the greatest value. One of the most mind-blowing stories in coin collecting history, a tale that merges human error, historical rarity, and unexpected value in the most incredible way possible. In this video, we're talking about something that might be lying unnoticed in your change jar, your old wallet, or tucked away in a forgotten drawer, something that at face value is worth just 1 cent, a humble penny, but due to a combination of rare minting errors, historical oddities, and numismatic intrigue, has reached a jaw-dropping valuation of $17 million. Yes, that's right, we're talking about a 2000 AD Lincoln penny, officially known as the 2000 AD 1 cent USA coin, a coin that, under extraordinary circumstances and almost unbelievable conditions, managed to defy the very idea of face value and transformed itself into one of the most talked-about error coins in US minting history. Let's start at the beginning. In the year 2000, the Denver Mint, responsible for striking billions of coins each year, produced countless Lincoln cents, as it had for decades. The Lincoln penny itself had long been a staple of U.S. currency, introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, but by 2000, it had already undergone numerous changes in composition and minting processes. However, that year, amidst the many regular pennies struck, a very small number of coins left the facility bearing anomalies so rare, so confounding, and so significant that collectors and experts would later describe them as 1 in a billion occurrences. One of these anomalies led to the creation of a coin that would later be valued not just at a few hundred or even a few $1,000s, but at a staggering $17 million. The question is, what makes a single penny reach such a colossal valuation? The answer lies in a perfect storm of errors, mint mark peculiarities, double striking, die cap mistakes, planchet anomalies, and historical significance that together elevate this coin into a class of its own. Let's talk about the errors. One of the major contributing factors is what is known as a double die error, an extremely rare minting mistake in which the coin's design is impressed twice, slightly offset, creating a ghost-like doubling effect most commonly seen in the date, the inscription "In God We Trust," and the word "Liberty." Now, while double die errors are already valuable, what makes this 2000 AD penny unique is that it appears to have been double-struck not just in one area, but multiple times across its design, with overlapping layers suggesting a rotation between each strike, a phenomenon so rare that only a few known coins in US history exhibit this level of complexity. Additionally, the coin shows what appears to be a die cap error, where the coin becomes stuck to the die during the minting process, causing subsequent coins to take on a ghostly, high-relief image of the original stuck coin, a fascinating mistake that dramatically alters the coin's appearance and often leads to bizarre, bulbous contours. Now add to that the possibility of a planchet error, where the metal disc used to create the coin is either the wrong composition or improperly cut. Some reports suggest that this $17 million penny may have been struck on a transitional planchet, possibly a leftover from a prior year's composition, or even one intended for a completely different denomination, like a dime or foreign coinage, which would drastically increase its value. But wait, it gets even more unbelievable. The mint mark D, which denotes the Denver Mint, appears to be misplaced and misaligned in a way that is inconsistent with standard coin production. Experts believe this suggests it may have been manually punched, something that was officially discontinued decades earlier, raising the possibility that an older minting process was accidentally or deliberately used, which would be a mind-blowing violation of protocol and historic consistency. Moreover, microscopic analysis of the coin reveals inconsistencies in the font, spacing, and positioning of the inscriptions, suggesting either an experimental die was used or a previously decommissioned die was mistakenly reintroduced, both of which would constitute unprecedented minting errors. But the mystery doesn't stop there. Some numismatists believe the coin may even carry a mule error, one of the rarest types of coin mistakes, where the obverse and reverse designs are mismatched, such as having a Lincoln obverse paired with a reverse from another denomination or year. These sorts of mule coins are extremely rare and highly desirable because they signify a major breakdown in minting protocol, which is why when they do occur, their value skyrockets. In this case, there is speculation that the 2000 D penny may have been paired with a reverse die meant for a commemorative or foreign coin, an anomaly so unlikely that only a few confirmed examples exist in the entire world. Now, combine all these extraordinary factors: double die, die cap, planchet anomaly, misaligned mint mark, mule pairing, and the potential use of obsolete or unauthorized dies, and you have a coin that represents the ultimate storm of minting mishaps. But why $17 million? Surely, even the rarest coin errors don't typically reach such astronomical prices. The answer lies in rarity, condition, provenance, and demand. This particular 2000 D penny is believed to be a unique specimen, possibly the only one of its kind ever discovered. It was found in near-perfect uncirculated condition, with a high-grade designation that suggests it never entered general circulation. Its discovery stunned the numismatic world, leading to extensive debates, authentication processes, and eventually its sale in a private transaction for an eye-watering sum. The coin's origin and path to discovery also add layers to its mystique. It is rumored to have been initially found by a collector who spotted something odd while going through a roll of pennies purchased from a bank. At first, the strange markings were thought to be post-mint damage, but upon closer inspection using magnification and expert analysis, the truth began to emerge. Once authenticated by top grading companies and numismatic experts, it was immediately recognized as a one-of-a-kind error coin. This level of uniqueness fuels a psychological phenomenon in collecting known as the singularity premium, where the mere fact that no others like it exist pushes its value into the stratosphere. Rarity alone doesn't always guarantee astronomical value, but when paired with historical significance, mystery, and confirmed minting anomalies, it becomes a holy grail for collectors. Furthermore, the coin's provenance, the documented history of ownership, adds to its legend. Having passed through the hands of elite collectors, displayed briefly at high-end coin shows, and referenced in numismatic journals, the 2000 OD penny has built a lore that transcends its metallic value. Now let's consider another element: timing. The discovery of the coin came at a time when interest in rare US coins was reaching a fever pitch. Auction houses were seeing record-setting bids for rare cents, especially those with errors, and the attention surrounding this find caused a ripple effect throughout the collecting world. Collectors rushed to inspect their own change, dealers reported increased sales of penny rolls, and mint error experts were suddenly in high demand. This frenzy contributed to a valuation inflation, as buzz and competition drove the price upward. Additionally, there is the psychological component of symbolic value. Owning a coin that represents not just money, but a moment where chaos and precision collided, where a single mistake led to greatness. This penny became a symbol of what can happen when systems fail in just the right way to create something magnificent. It serves as a reminder that in a world of automation and control, anomalies still slip through, and those anomalies can become treasures. This narrative, of a humble coin ascending to legendary status through a perfect storm of errors, is compelling not just to coin collectors, but to historians, economists, and enthusiasts of rare artifacts. Finally, we must consider the potential implications this coin has had on future minting policies and error detection. Following the publicity around the $17 million penny, mints around the world began re-examining their quality control measures, their die inventory practices, and the possibility that other such anomalies might be lurking undiscovered. It sparked a renewed interest in the fine details of minting history and encouraged a new generation of collectors to pay attention to the smallest, most mundane objects in their possession. The coin that started life as just another penny ended up rewriting the rulebook for what a cent can be worth, simply by being in the right place at the wrong, or right, time. Whether or not another like it will ever be found remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: this 2000 D 1-cent coin has earned its place in the annals of numismatic legend, not by design, but by sheer accident, and that, perhaps, is the most incredible part of all. So next time you find a penny in your pocket, take a moment to really look at it. You never know, it might just be hiding a $17 million secret. We dive deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American numismatic history, the 1984 D 1-cent penny that, despite its humble face value of just 1 cent, has been known to fetch upwards of $52 million at auction due to a combination of rare errors, unique mint marks, and anomalies that have left collectors and experts completely stunned and captivated. And we're going to explore every possible reason why such a tiny coin could command such an astronomical price, so buckle up as we uncover the mind-blowing details behind the most intriguing and mysterious penny ever minted in modern American coinage, because while it may look like any other copper-plated coin from a distance, what lies beneath its surface and the story it tells is anything but ordinary, starting with the basics of how the 1984 D penny came to be minted at the Denver Mint as indicated by the small d mint mark below the date. It was produced in an era where billions of pennies were being struck for circulation, making it seemingly common at first glance. But the specific specimen we're talking about today isn't just any penny from that year or mint, it's an anomaly, a numismatic unicorn, a coin so rare that experts have only been able to identify one or two with the same combination of features, starting with its doubling errors, a type of minting mistake known as a double die, in which certain parts of the coin's design, most notably the obverse side featuring Abraham Lincoln's profile, appear duplicated or shadowed due to a misalignment during the die creation process. And while double die errors are not entirely unheard of in coin collecting circles, what makes the 1984 D example stand out is the severity, clarity, and location of the doubling, especially in Lincoln's earlobe, where a second earlobe appears almost distinctly below the first, a flaw so unusual and stark that it became instantly recognizable to those with a trained eye and became known as the 1984 doubled ear penny. And although the Philadelphia minted 1984 penny with this error is well documented and relatively accessible, the Denver version of this same error is what takes this coin into stratospheric territory, because Denver's mint did not commonly produce such errors in 1984, making this D-mint double die variant extraordinarily rare. And to add even more intrigue, the $52 million penny reportedly includes other imperfections that compound its rarity, such as a possible off-center strike, weak strike areas, planchette flaws, and a mysterious mispunched mint mark which may have been the result of a hand-punching process gone awry before automated systems were fully standardized at the Denver Mint, where mint workers may have manually punched the D mint mark into the die, resulting in slight misalignment, repunching, or even the presence of a second, fainter mint mark underneath the bold one, which can sometimes only be detected under magnification, suggesting the coin was subjected to an abnormal minting sequence that left it as a one-of-a-kind oddity. And when you consider that coin collectors and numismatists often place extreme value on pieces with such unique characteristics, especially when these are the result of unintentional human or mechanical errors that are impossible to replicate, you begin to see why this specific 1984 D penny has become the subject of so much obsession and value speculation, with collectors willing to pay tens of millions for the opportunity to own what they believe could be the rarest known Lincoln cent in existence. And it's not just the errors alone that give this penny its mythical status, it's the condition as well, with reports suggesting that the specimen in question was discovered in mint state condition, possibly MS-68 or higher, meaning it has virtually no wear and retains its original luster, a factor that exponentially increases its value in the eyes of grading agencies like PCGS and NGC, which often authenticate and grade coins based on strike quality, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. And in the world of numismatics, finding a high-grade error coin is akin to discovering a diamond in the rough, a perfect storm of imperfection preserved in pristine quality. And when that storm includes a double die, a mint mark anomaly, possible off-metal composition, and near uncirculated grade, you're left with something that transcends mere collecting. It becomes a historical artifact, an irreplaceable treasure, and as rumors swirl around whether the $52 million valuation is an exaggeration or a real auction result, what's undeniable is the frenzy and excitement that surrounds this coin, with countless collectors examining their pocket change in the hopes of finding their own fortune, dreaming of that tiny copper piece that could change their lives forever. And to understand why such values can even exist in the first place, we have to consider the psychology and economics of rare coin collecting, where rarity, demand, and condition all combine to create a perfect market storm, and when a coin is believed to be truly unique or nearly so, it becomes the holy grail for those who specialize in U.S. coinage, particularly Lincoln cents, which are among the most widely collected coins in American history due to their long-run, iconic design, and accessibility, but every once in a while, an anomaly like the 1984 penny surfaces, breaking all expectations and challenging even the most seasoned collectors to re-evaluate their assumptions about what a penny can be worth, and the mystery deepens when we consider that some experts believe there may be additional unknown specimens still out there, perhaps tucked away in old coffee cans, coin jars, or forgotten collections, because the mass production of coins in the 1980s means billions of cents were circulated, and only through meticulous searching, grading, and authentication can such a coin come to light, which is why so many enthusiasts are now combing through their change with magnifying glasses and coin microscopes, hoping to spot that telltale doubled ear or mispunched mint mark that could indicate they're holding a multi-million-dollar piece of copper-plated zinc. And speaking of composition, it's also worth noting that 1982 marked the transition from solid copper pennies to copper-plated zinc ones. And by 1984 the new composition was standard, yet in rare cases transitional errors can occur where an older blank is used by mistake, resulting in a coin with unexpected weight, color, or sound, and while there's no public record that the $52 million 1984 penny was struck on the wrong planchette, the possibility of such an error only adds fuel to the fire for treasure hunters who hope to uncover a hybrid anomaly, a double die, mint mark error, misstruck, and wrong metal coin all in one. The ultimate 1-cent Frankenstein's monster of American minting history, and whether you're a casual collector, a lifelong numismatist, or just someone who enjoys a good mystery, there's no denying the allure of a coin like this, not just for its monetary value, but for what it represents, an unpredictable confluence of history, human error, craftsmanship, and rarity all captured in something that was meant to be ordinary but became extraordinary, and that's the true magic of coin collecting, because unlike printed currency, which can be pulled from circulation quickly and destroyed, coins circulate for decades, carrying stories, secrets, and sometimes unimaginable value in their tiny metal frames, and with every 1984 penny that passes through a vending machine, gets tossed in a tip jar, or dropped on a sidewalk, there's always a whisper of possibility that the next great discovery could be lying in plain sight, and it's this blend of probability, patience, and passion that drives the coin collecting community to keep searching, because the next $52 million penny might be just a glance away, tucked in your wallet, stuck between couch cushions, or sitting quietly in your childhood coin folder waiting to be recognized for what it truly is, a piece of modern American treasure that turned the lowest denomination into one of the highest rewards ever seen in numismatic history. And while the world marvels at fine art, rare jewels, and priceless artifacts, sometimes it's the smallest, most overlooked pieces of our everyday lives that carry the greatest stories. So whether you're on the hunt for the next big find or just curious about how something so ordinary could become so legendary, keep watching, keep learning, and most importantly, keep checking those pennies, because you never know what hidden gem might be hiding in your change. World of rare and mysterious coins that could be hiding right under your nose. Today, we unravel the astonishing story behind a 2015 1-cent penny from the United States of America, which has stunned the numismatic community and casual hobbyists alike by commanding an estimated value of over $26 million, a staggering difference from its humble 1-cent face value. And the journey into this coin's surprising and extraordinary value reveals a captivating tale of minting errors, die misalignments, planchette anomalies, rare mint mark irregularities, and the kind of rare production quirks that elevate a simple coin into a legendary artifact of modern American minting history. So sit back and prepare to discover the details of how a penny, often overlooked and left in drawers or pocket change jars, turned out to be one of the most coveted pieces in recent coin collecting history. Now, the 2015 penny in question first gained public attention when a private collector, going through a routine batch of Lincoln cents, noticed something distinctly off about this particular specimen, and what started as a casual curiosity quickly snowballed into a viral phenomenon once experts, graders, and seasoned numismatists began to weigh in on what they were seeing under high-powered magnification and advanced imaging. The coin exhibited not just one or two small imperfections, but a mind-blowing series of compounded errors that exponentially increased its value, beginning with a double die obverse, where the duplication of Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions including the date and motto were clearly offset, a result of a misaligned die strike that should have been caught during quality control but slipped through the cracks at the US Mint. And not only that, this 2015 penny displayed an off-center strike with approximately 15% of the design missing from one edge of the coin while leaving the other side thick and bulging, creating a unique contour unlike standard issues. And further analysis revealed a rare planchette error, meaning the blank copper-plated zinc disc used for the coin was either improperly prepared or improperly fed into the coining press, resulting in a surface that bore irregular luster and faint layering separation not typically seen in mass-produced cents. But perhaps the most jaw-dropping anomaly was the presence of a misplaced mint mark, where the usual D, denoting the Denver Mint, appeared to have been not just misaligned but oddly doubled, with one deed higher and to the right of another, a phenomenon suggesting either a repunched mint mark or a machine-related misapplication of the minting stamp, something that rarely, if ever, occurs in modern coinage due to the automated and precise nature of today's production lines. Yet the mispunched D on this coin bore the hallmarks of human or mechanical error in a way that challenged standard minting protocols, and the metal composition analysis even hinted at an abnormal copper density slightly outside of modern tolerances, suggesting that this particular blank might have been either recycled improperly or inadvertently mixed with pre-year 1982 stock, which was composed of 95% copper compared to today's predominantly zinc-based cents. And while minor variances can happen, the combination of a potentially incorrect composition and visible strike errors culminates in a coin that is not just flawed, but historically and technically irreplaceable. And when this coin was finally submitted to PCGS and NGC, the two leading coin grading authorities in the United States, both organizations confirmed its authenticity and acknowledged the rarity of the multi-layered errors, giving it a nearly unheard-of grade for an error coin, further adding fuel to its skyrocketing valuation. And within private auction circles, the coin became an immediate target for high-end collectors and institutional buyers alike, with early bidding reaching into the millions before private negotiations took it off the public radar, though trusted sources later confirmed a final purchase price of $26 million by a confidential buyer known to collect extremely rare error coins and one-of-a-kind US Mint anomalies. And what makes this case even more fascinating is the precedent it sets for future finds, as experts now estimate that similar error coins from the 2015 mint run could theoretically exist in circulation, given the volume of production that year, which was in the billions. And the growing belief is that a small number of coins with related or partial errors may have been released undetected, sparking a gold rush of sorts among collectors now double-checking their change and bank rolls in hopes of discovering a relative to this record-breaking penny. And educational institutions have also taken interest in this coin, using it as a case study in minting processes and quality assurance, with some metallurgical and manufacturing engineers even reverse engineering the anomalies to understand how so many deviations could occur on a single coin in an era when precision is supposedly guaranteed. And yet this one penny, this unassuming 2015 Lincoln cent, defied all odds and slipped through the filters of technology and human oversight to become a symbol of both the fallibility and magic of coin production. And part of its value is also rooted in the narrative it tells. The rarity is one thing, but the story of a modern coin echoing the type of errors more commonly associated with the early 20th century has galvanized collectors across the spectrum, with error coin enthusiasts now combing through 2015 penny rolls with renewed urgency, especially from Denver Mint batches, in pursuit of similar strike patterns. And even conspiracy theories have popped up suggesting the possibility of intentional sabotage or experimental strikes never meant to see circulation. Though no concrete evidence has emerged to support these ideas, still the mystery adds to the allure. And it's worth noting that error coins with high value are not just about what went wrong during production, but about how rare the specific combination of mistakes are. And in this case, the 2015 D penny presented a convergence of multiple distinct minting errors, each of which would have been notable on their own, but when combined into a single specimen, they transcend novelty and reach the upper echelon of collectible status. And while many people have found coins with double dies or off-center strikes, virtually none have seen a coin that features all of these defects with such visual clarity and impact. and as word spread across numismatic forums, YouTube channels, and even mainstream media outlets, the story of the $26 million penny became a rallying cry for collectors old and new, drawing attention not just to the specific coin but to the entire practice of inspecting change for hidden treasures, reinforcing the timeless advice that every coin should be checked closely because you never know what might have slipped past the mint's final inspection. And the legacy of this coin is only just beginning, with documentaries, academic papers, and potentially even a museum display in the works to explore not just the coin itself but the cultural impact it has had on the world of collectibles. And if anything, this story serves as a powerful reminder that even in the age of digital finance and cryptocurrency, the tangible allure of physical currency, and the mysteries it may hold, remains as strong as ever. So whether you're a seasoned numismatist with decades of experience or a casual hobbyist just starting out, the tale of the 2015 1-cent penny worth $26 million is proof that real treasure still exists in the most unexpected places, waiting to be found, one coin at a time.